how important is a DAW controller, and what one would you recommend? Now, in an ideal world, we'd all have Avid S4s. I mean, I use a beautiful Avid S4, and they are different class. Now, if you don't know what Avid S4 is, it's basically Pro Tools out the box, or any DAW controller out the box. Physical hardware, hands-on control of everything inside Pro Tools. Now, how important is a DAW controller? For me personally, and pretty much every mix engineer that ever goes in the box, DAW controllers are so important. I mean, I could not. It's been, what's it been? Probably 15 years, maybe more than that, 20 years. I used to have a DigiDesign Command 8 was my first DAW controller, and since then, I mean, I've had every single different style up until this one. I have never been without a DAW controller because I know the importance of a DAW controller. Just fader control. Now, things like fader control it's just, you get hands on with anything and you work so much better. You get plug-in control with a DAW controller. Each of these I can map to the plugins perfectly. So it is physically like I'm sitting on a piece of hardware, controlling a piece of hardware, and it's perfect in a way that I can do it. Now, I know myself that if I worked, if I took this DAW controller away, right? So I took the Avid S4 away and just used a mouse and keyboard. I know that my mixing, I would take maybe 5 times longer to mix a track. This saves me so much time because I fly around a mix, because everything is physically able to quickly jump to. It's for that reason alone I can mix so much quicker. Another thing with DAW controller, it's so much more fun to mix with a DAW controller. It is so much fun because you're hands on and you're actively moving around a desk, especially a big desk like this. You know, this desk in particular, I have a button there that raises it up. So I now bring my desk up to a standing position. Now I stand and mix, and that's how I mix. I will always mix in a standing position because when you mix standing up, it's a lot more fun. You move about. You're almost dancing whilst you're mixing. You know, you stand there and you can create these mixes that are inspired by what you're doing in the room. It's so much better. If you haven't used a DAW controller before, I would highly recommend using one and kind of seeing how you get on with mixing a track, because you really do. And I speak volumes when it comes to DAW control, because like I say, I've had one for 20 years. I've had DAW controllers. I've never mixed since I was maybe 17. I haven't mixed with a mouse and a keyboard because I know once I get one, I cannot live without a DAW controller. I have to have a DAW controller to mix. That's how important a DAW controller is. A, you will work faster. B, you will have more fun. I mean, those two reasons alone are why you use a DAW controller. You work better. You feel the movement of things. You know, multiple touch points as well. So you've got 2 fingers. You're on different, you know, you could be on a fader whilst on a pot as well. You can be on 2 different pots at a time. You can dart around those pots. You know, you can control 4 faders, for instance, or 3 faders with one hand. Then you've got this hand. You know, things like that. It's a very, very valuable tool. Okay, now that's the reasons why you should buy a DAW controller. Now for the reasons which one you should buy. And there's a few. I mean, which one you should buy? Buy this one. Buy an Avid S4 or an Avid S6. They're incredible, but they're stupidly priced. They are just mental, like to the point where no kind of sane human being would actually pay that sort of money for them. But why did I? Because it's different. It's a bit different for someone like myself because I'm working on it every single day. This thing's paid for itself within the first 2 months. You know, like I'll tell you how much this console itself I think is 39,000 currently. I mean, like that's stupid. You know, you get an Avid S4, Avid S6, a big one. You're talking like £100,000 for one of the big ones, and you know they when you consider how much time they save you, it's a well worth investment. I mean, I am so grateful that I invested into this because it really saved me so much time, and time is money at the end of the day when you run a business. For a producer, this is overkill. Get the Avid S1. So what one would I recommend? If I was a producer or just a kind of, you know, as any kind of engineer, and I was just mixing, I would get the Avid S1. Right, I would have the Avid S1. If I was a Pro Tools user, I would use the Avid S1, only because there's seamless integration and you're really going to benefit from that. You put an iPad up top, throw Pro Tools onto the iPad. It's really, really good. If I wasn't using Pro Tools, and even if you were using Pro Tools, you could still go down this route. You've got the option of the SSL. Now the SSL stuff, you've got a UF8, a UC1. Now the two of them, I mean, the perfect combination is UF8, UC1, UF8. It looks brilliant. My mate's got one, got that set up in his studio, and it looks brilliant. The SSL stuff. Now the great thing with the SSL stuff is you've got that UC1 as well. So you've got all the DAW control. You've got the pots at the top, so you can use all those pots to control plugins, control pan, control everything in the DAW. You've also got the UC1 controller. Now the UC1 controller is basically SSL native channel strip and SSL bus compressor native as a real physical controller, and it works incredible. I've got one next door, and it's really, really good. If you use that channel strip and that is your chosen channel strip of choice, it is unbelievable how well you can mix on this console. It's really, really good. That's a really, really, really attractive console there, as in UF8 and a UC1. I think you're talking about £1,500 for both of them, and it's honestly, if you haven't, or if you're mixing your own productions, it's £1,500, and it will really give you proper hands-on control of everything you really need in a mix. I mean, you can get away with, like, you'll slim down your mix maybe, in terms of you'll use the SSL EQ, you'll use the SSL compressor, and you'll use the SSL bus compressor in mixing terms, and you've got full control over that, and you'll put that on every single channel, and you'll mix like you're on a analog console, albeit not with the analog summing or the analog kind of, you'll still get the analog kind of sort of the sound of the SSL through the plugins, and you do get a very good emulation with the native ones. They are the best channel strips that are SSL licensed channel strips, emulating the hardware. The SSL ones are the best. So yeah, it's a tricky one. You've got to weigh up which one to buy. Now the ones I would recommend getting is either the UC1 and the UF8, or get the Avid S1. And you can get the Avid S1 as a dock as well. So you can get the faders and the dock, which basically is this section here with a row of pots, and then a small master module here. And you can build those massive. You can you can make really big consoles out of them. But they're the two that I always recommend, because they are very, very, very good. I've done reviews on the UF8 previously, and I really, really liked the UF8. Very good DAW controller, slightly flimsy in comparison to other DAW controllers, but you're paying like a £1,000, which isn't, it is a lot, but it's not a lot for a really good quality DAW controller, and that's what you are getting with a UF8. So that's what I would recommend, either a UF8 or a Avid S1. But in ideal terms, pick yourself up an Avid S4, because they are ridiculously good.